Hey Internet, no special setup today and probably some pretty bad sound. Maybe you hear some birds in the background and you can even, maybe if you're lucky, smell me exercising my right to burn leaves of a plant for still here for a little while and puff on it. Yeah, and enjoy the flavor of that and the small amount of benefit that it gives to the thought process, which nicotine is kind of shown to do. So, in that, also glad that there will be many of you who tonight will be exercising your right to take some money and like burn it while you shoot it in the sky. That's a pretty cool thing too. But as I've been sitting here this morning, I was going to do some writing and then I was distracted by the fact that the program I use to do my writing decided to upload like a 70 meg download kind of thing. So I got distracted by Twitter a little bit and there's all sorts of great stuff out there. And it got me thinking again, both in terms of those who are at this time like upset about our flag, right? And those who are upset about that. And someone else had an interesting post about how it is a tendency of a lot of American churches right now to make like this day even maybe bigger than Christmas in some ways, and how that's problematic. And I just want to emphasize the beauty that the Bill of Rights has provided to Christians particularly, right? The right to exercise our faith, and how blessed we've been in that regard. We've been so blessed in that regard compared to most of the Christians in the world that we've taken it for granted to the level where we've gotten so comfortable that we don't care about our faith much anymore, right? And certainly some persecution would maybe turn us back on that a little bit. But I don't think that the Bible ever tells us to pray for persecution to happen or pray for people to try to take away your faith. While we may be able to observe that the church is built on the blood of the martyrs, this is true, but every witness, everyone who believes and dies in the faith is a martyr in that regard. So with that also, I just want to say, like, I'm not really a fan of what Colin Kaepernick does, right? And I tweeted this as well. I probably won't be buying Nikes again anytime soon because I think it's just kind of belittling a little bit to treat us, consumers, as if you can just sort of manipulate us for virtue signaling, right? It's like really, it's a shoe, right? What are you doing? Why not just sell shoes to all sorts of people who believe different things? That would be a good marketing strategy. And I think Nike's, can I say, shooting themselves in the foot on this one. They're so big, they're not going to collapse over this. They're one of the major conglomerate corporations that has money going into all sorts of future tech and stuff that isn't even really shoes. So they're going to keep doing what they do. But it is pretty folly, in my mind. And as one who often would, veer toward my Nike and shoes that I buy, I'm probably not going to do that anymore. Now, maybe they're going to have more people veer toward them now that they won't put an American flag on their shoe. Maybe they won't. I don't know. That's their marketing decision. That's their call. But what I do want to do is support and highlight and say thank you to Colin Kaepernick for exercising his right to dislike his right to exercise his freedoms. Yeah, which is effectively what he's doing, whether he knows it or not, right? And I don't know. I've never talked to Colin. He might be a really nice guy, completely reasonable in all of this. And he certainly hates slavery, which I'm totally for, right? We should totally hate slavery. It is completely a bad thing in every way. We should probably put a little more effort into stopping the sex slave trafficking that does go on through immigration system on various levels, not necessarily at the border per se, although that too, but also in some of those more wilder, less populated areas of the northern territories of our states. I won't call them. I called them territories. They're not territories anymore. But yeah, we should stop that kind of thing. But so slavery's bad, totally. And there's this beautiful thing about this country, which is that not only did we once have slaves. This is going to go out if I don't smoke it. Sorry. Kind of at the bottom, aren't I? Time for number 2, I think. It's not only a country that used to have slaves, but it's a country that had slaves, and one of them so badly that it built the slaves into its constitution in the Three-Fifths Compromise. And if you don't know about that, and you're upset about everything, you should read about that, because it'll upset you more. It's really awful. The Three-Fifths Compromise was awful. It was dehumanizing. It's as anti-Christian as you could possibly get in terms of governmental development. We built that into our Constitution, but I say this is beautiful because we also built into the Constitution, and it wasn't the guys in D.C. that did it, it was the constitutional conventions that said we won't ratify this until you build a Bill of Rights. And in that Bill of Rights is the freedom of life and liberty. namely in some special things like speech, right? The freedom of speech, is because of that Bill of Rights and that freedom of speech and the understanding of a human that we are independently free from each other at our best when we don't harm each other. And that should be protected at all costs. It's the only thing the government does. It's that thing which allowed the overturning of slavery. If that had not been there, we would not have been able to do the marches that happened at that time, right? And we would not have been able to make the changes. We would not have been able to add amendments, right? The Bill of Rights is so essential, and Colin Kaepernick has highlighted that for us. It is so essential and so good that it allows you to say, I hate it, I want it to go away, and it won't stop you. The government can't stop you. That's amazing. That is what makes this country great. That is like the definition of what makes this country great. Right? It's not our money. It's not our cars. It's not that we have better aqueducts, right? I mean, those things are cool. And capitalism, I think capitalism rightly understood that I give value to you, you give value to me, and we both benefit, and this is a good way to kind of build our community, right? That's a good idea too, but that is not what makes this country great. Yeah, there are things that could destroy this country that are against capitalism, but it's mainly because they're going to take away not the ability to trade, but the ability to have those rights, right? Because in order to make their system work, you can't have all those rights. And so, again, make America great again. Well, in this regard, it already is. It already is. And Colin Kaepernick, I don't want to go out. Colin Kaepernick is the perfect example of why America's great. He is the shining, perfect example of why America's great. Because he is exercising his freedom to hate his freedom, to exercise his freedom. And we don't want that to go away. We really don't want it to be a majority opinion. I agree with that. And I think that the freedom of speech, in theory at least, protects that, provided the government stays out of it, right? And just lets us debate the thing and disagree, yeah? As long as the government doesn't come and force one side to hear more, or say the crony capitalism of Google itself, yeah, Google, Facebook, who are under the veil of capitalism, under the veil of being private property, under the veil of being corporations that are not the public square, they are beginning to change the actual public square away from, it's going to go out, that's sad, change the public square away from a place where free speech does have its rights, right? So the whole idea of YouTube and Facebook initiatives, look, everyone's here. Everyone's here. We can all talk. Isn't it amazing? The free flow of information has been given to you. We are Google. Do only good, don't do evil. We will provide the free flow of information. Trust us. Give us your passwords. Yada yada yada. Yeah. And I guess there's some naivety in that to think that anybody could be that big and not eventually want to be a government, right? And not eventually want to be in total control of everything. But again, it is the free speech which will protect us at this point from letting that happen. And Colin, God bless the man. Yeah, he has demonstrated so beautifully and wonderfully the fullness of that reality. The fullness of that reality. The flag which he will not respect is the flag that allows him to disrespect it. Other flags, other countries, this is not an option. Some of them, it's death penalty kind of stuff, right? So, dude, it's awesome. America is great precisely for this reason, because you have the freedom to not like America, yeah? And to try to change it, I personally have the opinion I would recommend you don't change it in such a way that it's no longer able to be changed. Because if you did that, yeah, then, well, you might be in charge maybe for a moment or three, but your kids won't be. Yeah, your kids won't be. And it just won't go well for anyone. So for what it's worth, on this Independence Day, we're lowering my stream quality because I'm out in the garage. On this Independence Day, I am sitting here celebrating and ready to celebrate the free exercise of my religion, the free exercise of my ability to talk, and at the moment still talk to you across the world via YouTube, whether they demonetize or not. They haven't for a little while, which is interesting. I don't know, I don't know why, because there's Christian stuff going out that they're not demonetizing, so why? I don't know. But the freedom to say these things, right? The freedom to disagree, the freedom to tolerate disagreement, something that all of us could learn a little more about. Yeah, that Facebook doesn't really help, by the way, on that one, no matter which side you're on. And the freedom to be, to pursue, and to pursue. And for you, Christian, that means the freedom to pursue your religion rather than, well, the flesh, which you have anyway, only here it's legal too, which is kind of cool, right? It could be against the law, and that would be, well, less cool, right? Less cool. Although, who knows, if it ever comes, the Lord will work through that too. So I'm going to try to write. That was my goal this morning. I did a little work on the Book of Hours I'm working on, but time to get to some writing. Yeah. Go burn stuff and shoot it into the sky, and rejoice in how free you are and how blessed that freedom has provided us, or how much that freedom has provided us with the ability to be a little wasteful from time to time. But then also remember that the freedom is best not used for waste entirely. A holiday, a set-apart day, a holy day, it's not really holy for us Christians, but it's holy for the Americans. A holy day, a set-apart day, is there for something special. But you do that waste every day, and well, suddenly it becomes a different thing, right? It becomes sloth, gluttony, all that. So anyhow, now I'm just moralizing. Oh my, yeah. So enjoy your freedom. Yeah, say what you want to say. Just if you don't mind, don't stop other people from saying what they want to say. And so Nike, I mean, well, if you don't want to make shoes with flags on them, cool, somebody will, and then people will buy those instead, and that would be capitalism at its best right there. So cool. All right, whatever. I haven't read the comments. I'm going to write. I swear I'm going to write. It's going to happen. It must happen. It is the desire of my deepest heart. And we'll see you tomorrow. Rock on.